Hey, everybody, welcome to this very quick review of the brand new Tier 10 Pan Asian heavy cruiser, the Incheon. Incheon. That's close to the way you pronounce it, maybe a little closer than Wargaming got in their official video. This is kind of a weird hybrid of the Pan-Asian line, of course, along with the heavy American line. It's a sort of a what-if boat. The official video described this ship as a hypothetical version of a CAB heavy cruiser design. So basically, it's a made-up paper boat, another one of those. We'll get into the actual specifications in just a little bit, but the quick sort of 411 is it's got improved pen angles on the AP. It's got pretty good accuracy. It's got deep water torpedoes that will hit cruisers and aircraft carriers. Oh God, we've got another one of these weird aero training room scenarios here. Well, let's just arm our secondaries and see how good the ASW is in World of Warships, shall we? Also want to give you a quick look at what this AP can do under ideal circumstances. Here's a United States out at 7.4 kilometers. Not a place you're likely to see these very often, of course. Oh, undetected. Wow. Tier 11 ship there. I don't know where her Citadel is, if she's even got one. But we're not getting through that at the moment. At least the way I'm... Oh, there's a Citadel. There's a Citadel. How about the Midway? 4. My intention was to show you how good the AP actually is. Because it is not bad. I know these are ridiculous ranges. Here's the torpedo angles. These are, again, deep water torpedoes. Let's look back. Double striking a Thrasher at close range. How does the ASW go here? You get 2 bombs, 2 airplanes, 2 bombs per flight though. Some of this damage is secondary, which is going to be a little misleading. Could not kill the Thrasher with the ASW. Notice this ship does not have any sensors at all. We don't get any hydro, we don't get submarine surveillance, and we do not get radar. You get a torpedo reload booster. This is all base. I haven't built the ship yet. You get 3 smokes that are the Pan-Asian style, and you get defensive AA and the torpedoes, along with, of course, the heel. Here's the U-2501. We'll drop that. Let's see if we can figure out how to actually get some more Citadels in on this United States before we take it into a real battle. 8.6 kilometers. Again, improved pen angles consistent with American cruisers. There we go. It's an aiming arrow skill issue. As usual. And I look away for one moment, and once again, we get more citadels. So again, each airplane, and you get 2, drops 2 bombs. Boy, they're widely dispersed, aren't they? So there's a flood. Pretty random how close they land to the submarine. I guess it's RNG. Yep, that was the CV. Also, the ASW reloads base every 30 seconds. This is, again, a ship that's not been built. No captain, no upgrades. Wow, look how far dispersed those were. All right. I think we've had just about enough here. Let's go play some games and show you what this is like against real random matchmaking at Tier 10 in World of Warships in 2025. Alrighty, game 1 in the Incheon. Let's see how we do. This is kind of a rough map for me. I'm not a cruiser main by any stretch of the imagination. 2 submarines, not in division. They should never be in division. I've done it myself, but I think that wargaming should prevent that, like they prevent aircraft carriers from being in a division. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments, please. Be polite. So let's look at the torpedo angles here. We took a look at them briefly in the opening, but that's not horrible. The range is not horrible either. 13.5 kilometers on those deep water torpedoes that hit cruisers and aircraft carriers and battleships. The way I have built the ship now, and the way I have it built, we've got 4 smokes. They're Pan-Asian style, 4 defensive AAs, 3 torpedo reload boosters, and 4 heels. Again, this is as built. Also, 11.2 detection. AA guns shoot it to 5.8. Main battery range, as built, because I built it for reload, is 16.5. What does that say? 16.1. 16.1, sorry. And I've turned off my my secondaries in AA there, just so I don't give away my position if somebody tosses some AA over my head. And I'm spotted already. Something is very close. Oh, I guess I'm gonna need my AA. Double fire. Thanks, Wargaming. Wish we had more airplanes in this game. I know, ironic coming from me. Forgot I had smoke. Operator error on my part. Doesn't seem speculative at best. I don't think that damage is terribly impressive. The alpha damage is definitely higher on the AP. But the muzzle velocity, or the initial velocity, is higher on the HE at 823 meters per second versus 762. And there goes my smoke. Let's just throw these out as zoning torp, shall we? $740,000 potential damage. Feels pretty sluggish to me. And I put rudder shift on. No idea where the submarine is. Zero clue. Now at a range. Oh, there's the submarine. I'm dead, probably. Two submarines. An inability to reach the submarine. Just a brilliant game design. And an inability to get rid of the ping here. How much did you enjoy that game, Arrow? Not at all. Nice to see our Kurfürst in the back. Look at those torpedoes. We are in the lead, so there's that. I made the map small, not because I play with it that way, but because I wanted to make it easier for you to see the battle overall on the replay. But you know what? I'm going to make it bigger. "23 seconds. The smoke cooldowns are reasonably short. 110 seconds. That's not bad. But it would be really nice to have hydro, some sub-surveillance, radar, but no sensors at all. So far, I've shot down 12 airplanes, only landed 13 shells, 2 of which are ricochets, 7 are overpens, and 4 are pens. Oh yeah, we also have an AFK submarine. That always helps. As we'll get our last heal in. Can we do any work here against this destroyer? He doesn't know I'm here yet. I sort of expected him to slow down. Are you kidding me? Finally. Finally. Yeah, I deserve that. I absolutely deserve that hit. That's for the Schlieffen. See how far away the sub is? Well, we lost 3 ships in rapid succession over here. There goes my smoke. We might still win this. What do you think? I'm throwing them out because there's no reason not to. I'm spotted by something over here. Probably the sun. This is me dead. Oh well, let's go next. Let's go next. Okay, game 2 in Incheon. This is not going to be easy. There's some really good players on the enemy team. No submarines this time, at least. What do we got for airplanes? No airplanes. No airplanes on their team, anyway. No airplanes. I find the shells are a bit floaty. As I mentioned earlier, the initial velocity is only 762 meters per second with the AP. It's a little faster on the HE side. at 823 meters per second, but still, you need to lead, and you need to understand that it's going to be floaty. I need to be more reflexively ready to use my my smokes. Was late to the table on them in the last game, which was the first one, and suffered some unnecessary damage because of it. Also, got to remember, this is kind of like if a Des Moines and a Jinan loved each other very much kind of ship, because you sit blindly in your smoke, you can toss out zoning deep water torpedoes and shoot your guns, but you don't have a sensor like hydro to protect you from being torped in your smoke, or even radar to help you spot something that might be coming up and about to launch an ambush on you. AP is pretty good, but it's so good it may, in fact, overpen. Smolensk is in a bad spot. Okay, now I'm being targeted. I took rudder shift because in the initial time I spent in the ship in the training room, I thought that was sluggish, but you could easily make the case for prop mod. I ricocheted off a Haragumo with AP, with improved pen angles. Okay. We're gaming. There's something out here. It may be torping me. Let's see if anybody is being sloppy. Yep. Good radar. That was a good radar, Moskva. The range is really pretty pitiful. I did not go range mod, and all we got was 16.1. I'm not spotted, so no smoke at the moment, but speak of the devil. Look at that dispersion. It's supposed to be destroyer-like, and yet I cannot apparently hit anything. That incomparable is a worry out there. Okay, he's got the radar back. Look at that, how floaty they are at 12 kilometers. 13. $280. Really pathetic damage. By me. A better cruiser player probably would have much better results. I haven't used a single smoke yet. The concealment's not bad at 11.2. Guns sound interesting. There's the AP, broadside incomp turning out. This has been happening to me since I started playing this ship. The shells just fall short. Completely. It's as if there is a bug. I'm sure it's just a skill issue on my part, but I'm finding the guns dang near impossible to play. I see that gearing in there, and I'd love to shoot him. Perhaps I can drop some zoning torps on the Colombo. All right, this is a problem. He's going to destroy me here. Stop and turn out. Got lucky. Got very, very lucky. Got very, very, very lucky indeed. But I'm going to get torped in my smoke. Got to reposition here. I got nothing in range. The range is severely limited on this ship. There's the smoke screen set. And that's that. No spotting, no spotter plane. There are the torpedoes. Let's go, rudder ships. Earn your, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. And my smoke's gone. I personally don't think that this is a ship for the meta. Like, I think that the meta has passed this thing up a long time ago. Jinan and her ilk really don't seem to do very well. You can't play this without having teammates with hydro and or radar around. At least I don't think you can. What I'm turning from is the incoming Colombo salvos, which I know are on the way. Kind of wrecking. Oh, and I did land. I landed 2 torpedoes on the St. Vincent, which is what those were intended for. And they're the Colombo salvos. Yeah, I don't know whether rudder shift or prop mod makes more sense here. But it does look like the Incop is eating a lot of damage. I got a Des Moines out there and a Colombo. We're losing this game pretty badly, it looks like. We'll do our best. Can we get this kill? And here comes the Colombo payback. He's got radar, I know. Doesn't have radar now. I fat-fingered a bunch of those keys there. Oh, smoke firing penalty. Let's go. Lol. Okay, that's kind of interesting, though. 92,000 and 1.7 million tanked. Oh, does the torpedo get him? Does the torpedo? Do we get 100K? I think we might, maybe, if this doesn't run out. It ran out! Oh, chat. Chat. YouTube chat. YouTube comments. Oh. All right, well, that's game 2 in Incheon. Interesting result. Yeah, that choice is, teammates say you can't control that. Let's go to game 3. Okay, game number 3. And this one may be spicy. Got a CV on the other team. Much better player than our CV player. And submarine. And it's a 4501 on the enemy team. CV certainly makes it hard to park, but we can test how our AA does against a tier 10 CV. I've got to be cognizant of the fact that just by being spotted, he could end up making it very easy for people to shoot at me. There's a lot of other people shooting his airplanes here, but we did shoot some airplanes down. Still, not amazing. Tier 10 cruiser with American heritage. Maybe he'll stay away. That was a very strange attack for him to make. Let's see if I can get in here and get some shots in on this Jinon. Don't forget your smoke arrow. Spotted. He's angling. Getting some damage in here. Chunks. Complete miss there. There we go. Did he disconnect? What's going on here? Why is my smoke? Smoke fire penalty, probably. Probably by smoke firing penalty from the Ostergotland. Interesting. That was definitely cruisery things. Akuru possibly coming back. Yeah, by Jaeger? Good Jaeger. Good Jaeger, well done. Seriously, chat, what is wrong with my guns? Do I just simply not know how to aim? Is that what's going on here? really filthy mouth DVD player, which I will be censoring from the video. I'm going to turn around and come help with... Oh, where's the Aftergotland? Do I get a second chance? No, he's on the far side of that rock. So... my turrets will never turn around. We can shoot the Z. Or try to. We managed to land a shot on him. Let's see what we can do with the Shima. But I'm worried about the Yami. Here comes the Kuru. Defensive AA, everybody. Steering here sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Goes our Satsuma. That flank just collapsed. Trying to get some fires on the Satsuma. There we go. And they get torped to shreds. No spotting. However, there is a destroyer here. Very definitely a destroyer here. So I'm being torped, you can be sure. I'm really glad that Yammy's dead. Satsuma's taking a big, long look at me. Torpedo on Vermont. Landing a surprising number of torpedoes. I'm dead. Over pens. Really thought I was dead. Back at me. I am apparently the poster pinata boy. Their Njord is way, way, way out there.
Torpedoes to port.
I have a smoke ready. Those shells should not have fallen short. Yeah. All right. Well, take 3. That's all we're going to do. 106k damage. The damage went up every single one of my games. So either I'm getting better or I'm getting less potato heat. Only credited with 2 torpedo hits, but 2 floods. 145 shell hits. 22 were ricochet, despite the improved ricochet angles. 31 non-pens, 73 pens, and 17 over-pens. 2 fires. Not a great fire chance. 19 aircraft shot down against a Tier 10 CV. Third on the team. Third on the team. So, Yeah. I, yeah, not the most impressive cruiser gameplay, I'm sure, folks, but didn't just throw my ship away. Let's talk about this and some other things during the wrap-up, but next, let's look at the armor scheme, and we'll look at the building the ship with upgrades and captain skills, how to get it, and the specifications, and final thoughts. So stand by for that. Okay, next let's look at her armor layout. If the port will respond, that would be really lovely, Wargaming. Despite being kind of a heavy cruiser, she is pretty lightly armored with a pretty vulnerable citadel. We've only got 25 millimeters on the bow and only 30 here. No 32. No 32. And then if you look over here, we get a really good look at her citadel. If the client will cooperate, you can see it's above the waterline. Pretty easy to hit. And not very much protection. 152 millimeters of armor. And there's this little weird piece down here. Come on, client. Jeez, game client, will you please work? 127 millimeters here. 102, 152, 76. Yeah. You could probably do plunging fire and citadel it from the front and from the back. So not really a ship you can depend on to protect you with its armor playing at tier 10 against super ships and the like. While we're here, take a quick look. Here's the position of the torpedo launchers. Pretty good angles despite that location, but they're probably going to be knocked out. They're not sitting up here on the deck like on some ships, but they probably will get knocked out being located there, just speaking of survivability. So let's move on to the features and specifications. Speaking of survivability, everything you're going to see here now is as built, of course, because I have built the ship to my particular preferences and playstyle. Your mileage may vary. Build it the way you like it. Don't follow my example dogmatically. Don't yell at me if you think I did it wrong. Everybody should build a ship to their playstyle. And anybody who's in the comments yelling about the way things should be, obviously doesn't know what they're talking about, because every single player is an individual and has different strengths and weaknesses and preferences. So just build it the way you want to build it if you decide to get this ship. As built, and this is with a bit of a buff, it's got 55,800 hit points with a 16% boost to torpedo protection damage. That's not a build boost. That's just, you've got the 16% torpedo protection on there. Walking through, let's look at the artillery. Again, she's got 4x2 203s. They, as built, reload every 4.8 seconds before adrenaline rush kicks in. The turrets rotate in 22.5 seconds. The dispersion is 126 meters, but she has pretty good sigma. It's over 2 sigma. I still found, maybe it was me not aiming precisely enough because I was used to less accurate guns, but I found I was missing a lot of shots that I thought were properly aimed. Perhaps that's not correct. And the guns are, in fact, not as accurate as they seem to be on paper. I built it with reload, so no long range, only 16.1 kilometers range, which in the current meta feels very, very short range. The alpha on the HE, 2800, 16% fire chance, 34 millimeters of pen. So you'd be able to pen another Incheon on the deck, as we saw a moment ago, because the Incheon's armor is 30 millimeters. The initial velocity is 823 meters per second for the HE, which is faster than that of the AP of 762 meters per second. So you need to learn to compensate for those differences. But the AP has an alpha damage of 5,000 and improved pen angles. Let's just ignore the secondaries because they don't really matter. Torpedoes, I landed a few of, and they did some surprising damage, but I would treat them as zoning torps. You get 2x4, that's 4 each side, 2 total launchers. The reload time is 95 seconds as built. The range is 13.5 kilometers. They're hard to detect at 8.8 kilometers of detection. They're not very fast at 69 knots. The alpha is quite decent at 17,900. That's before torpedo protection kicks in on the ship you strike. 13.5K range, as was mentioned previously, and these only hit cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers. The airstrike, you get 2 attack flights, but you only get 1 aircraft per flight. They get 2 bombs apiece. They do 4,900 alpha, but the RNG on landing those is pretty random, and the range is only 8 kilometers. I didn't find these were very helpful. Yeah, I think 87 is optimistic against a good CV player. You get defensive AA in this thing, but I don't have the metrics of AA and all these different gun efficacy numbers memorized. Some folks do, but I can tell you from playing against that one ship, while it did shoot down a few airplanes, it's definitely not a Holland. I didn't build it for AA, obviously, but it just rubs me wrong that a Tier 10 cruiser built based on the American sort of theme has such mediocre AA in this game. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments on the video, though. I'd be open to hear it, but be polite. As built, 33 knots of speed, turning circle radius of 800 meters, rudder shift time of 6.6 seconds. I did put rudder shift on instead of prop mod because I felt like the rudder shift was sluggish in the one test I did in a training room. I might turn around and put the prop mod back on, which would mean that these numbers will get worse, obviously. Concealment as built, 11.2 kilometers. Now, let's look at some upgrades and how I built this ship to get to these numbers. And also keep in mind, everything you've just heard also is based on having these flags on. So the way I built it, your mileage may vary. And Wargaming agreed with me all the way across, with the exception of rudder shift here. Main armaments 1, keep things alive. Engine room protection. You could also go for damage here to reduce your risk of fire and flooding, or possibly even this. But yeah, I don't know. Depends on if you play with an aircraft carrier buddy a lot, you might want to do that. You definitely want aiming systems mod 2 because you want your guns to be as accurate as possible. I don't really see any other options here that make any sense. I'm going to go ahead and pull off, in fact, steering gears and put prop mod on. I think that makes more sense. So what that does to our maneuverability is 8.3 seconds on the rudder shift now, and an 800-meter turning circle. But we'll see. For me in future games, maybe I'll come back and re-review it. So concealment, obviously, and here we have a reload, but that does, of course, slow down your main battery traverse speed. Other options would be range mod, giving you 16% more range out to around 18 something. I don't think it's worth it. I think you won't hit your targets. But it's worth doing if you're particularly good at landing those kinds of shots. Again, I think the ship's so fragile, putting this Charlie Kilo flag is a no-brainer. Just quickly, again, looking at your consumables here, you've got repair unlimited, you got the 4 smokes as built, you got the 4 DFAAs as built, 3 torpedo reload boosters as built, and 4 heels. And I do want the 4 heels here. It was a conscious choice as I was building it. Instead of making some other choices. Excuse me. So what I did is I went with Last Stand because you don't want to be dead in the water if you lose your engine. I don't think you need incoming fire alert and the priority target, one or the other, not both. So here, then I went with actually this to get the extra healing to give myself essentially more HP, then concealment, AR. I love RDF on cruisers if you have to hunt a submarine or a destroyer in particular, or know when somebody is stalking you from coming around an island. I do think it's a useful skill. Others will disagree with me. And then survivability expert. I already mentioned AR, and then grease the gears to get your main turret back up to speed as much as possible. So how do we get this ship? It is going to be a loot gambling mechanic known these days as the Wishing Wharf. It is something I personally would not participate in. It is something where you have to get these things called lunar tokens for tries at getting a random reward. 100% buying a lottery ticket there, folks. Each try costs 30 lunar tokens, and you can get those lunar tokens directly purchased for doubloons or purchased in limited numbers for real money. And the tokens will also be available in consecutive bundles for doubloons. The Incheon itself is available in what's known as the ship's group of potential rewards. The group itself has a 3.25% chance to drop one of the following ships. Incheon, Sen Yat-sen, that's the Tier 9 battleship. Fenyang, Siloangi, those are 2 destroyers. Irian, a cruiser. Loyang, destroyer. Anshan, destroyer. So listen carefully. That group has a 3.25% chance to drop one of those ships, not to drop the Incheon. So they want you to spend doubloons or cash money to get these lunar tokens, and then gamble that you're going to get something out of there that's worthwhile. For every 5 tries, you're guaranteed to receive a perma camo, but I really think that this is pure gambling, and you better have some mad money to throw away or free doubloons stored up in order to justify it. I'm not an advocate for that kind of a mechanic or gambling generally. Is Incheon worth attempting to get during this event? Well, that of course is up to you and your economic situation. I definitely don't recommend gambling generally, and especially if you don't have plenty of disposable income. Times are tight for a lot of folks, and money is in short supply. So I wouldn't be wasting any on the very low chances of getting any ship at all out of the Wishing Wharf event, let alone pulling this ship out. And frankly, I don't think it's that special. Is it a decent ship? Yeah, it's a decent ship, but it's basically an Americanized version of the Genon. It's got the deep water torps, but it's blind. It's got no radar. It's got no hydro. It has a smoke, which if you sit in with no hydro, you're going to get torqued or radared and shot in. The torpedoes are decent, but they're zoning torps. It's definitely not a torpedo boat, unlike the Genon or her sisters or cousins, which can dump a whole bunch of those torpedoes and have a reload booster. With the reload booster, you do effectively have not 2 racks of torpedoes, but 4 racks of torpedoes if your reload booster is available. The guns are decent. You know, they reload quickly. You got improved ricochet angles, but there's no armor to speak of. This thing will explode if you get yourself in a bad situation. And it's just not that special to spend money on, in my view. I'm very open to hearing what your thoughts are. I'm sure the cruiser mains are pulling the hair out of their heads right now and yelling at me and saying that I'm an idiot, I don't know what I'm doing, and that it's an aero skill issue, or maybe not. let me know what your thoughts, but I'd ask you to please be polite. I've disclaimed several times here, I'm not a cruiser main, but I just really don't think that there's anything that amazing about this ship that makes it a must-have. I frankly would rather play something like Des Moines than this thing. It's better at being the gunboat that it's supposed to be, in my view. And there's even some other ships that are better alternatives, arguably. If I've earned it, I would appreciate a like on the video and a subscription. There are live streams regularly, 3 nights a week on the channel. And I'd appreciate if you would leave a nice comment about what you thought about the ship and the Wishing Wharf event, especially, and gambling in the loot boxes. If you think it's fine, let me hear that, but just be nice about it. And a thumbs up on the video would be very much appreciated as well. Thank you so much for watching. You might like this other video on the channel, which is also a ship review, next. Take care, and I hope 2025 is very kind to you and yours.